Hi everyone. In this video, we will see how we can complete our assignment 4, which is about deploying and configuring Windows Server on Azure VMs. Okay, as usual. And just the purpose of me making this video is that the instructions are quite old in this lab, and the Azure portal has evolved a lot. So there will be a lot of mismatch. So that is why I'm just making this particular video. Let's begin exercise 1. So this is about creating ARM template for Azure VM deployment. First, we need to connect to the virtual machine, and then we need to connect to the Azure portal. So the first step, which is already done, we are already connected to the Seattle admin. Next is from the Seattle admin, just open a browser tab and go and access this portal.azure.com and hit enter. If it is asked, you need to give the username and password. And this part, like the upgrade part is already done. So what you can do is like you can just go to this Microsoft Defender for Cloud page. And if there is any button for you stating upgrade is visible, then you have to click on upgrade. But I don't think so. You have to do it manually. It's already done for you automatically. So this step is over. Now let's go to task 2. Now let's generate an ARM template. So how are we going to generate ARM template is that by using Azure portal, we will try to create a VM and we will add all the configuration data. And instead of creating, we just download the template. That's what we are trying to do now. Okay, I'll go and search for virtual machines. And in here, we need to create a virtual machine. And on the basics tab, you need to give these informations. We'll go with the subscription and then the resource group. You have to create a resource group. This is the resource group and say okay. A resource group with this particular specified name is created. And then the virtual machine name. Sorry, I hope I did a mistake. Not this one. I'll just go and say resource group name is this. And then the VM name is this. Region to be East US. No infrastructure redundancy required. And operating system to be Windows 2022 Data Center Azure Edition. And then D2S V3, just verify that the size what is selected is D2S V3. Use the username and password. Public inbound port, we set it to none. We will add the port later. So we are just creating a template. Once we create the template, using the template, we deploy a VM. And after deploying the VM, we will go for enabling the port. Till then, we keep it none. And then this is off because we don't have any license with me. And next is disk. Under disk, you need to do some modification. It's not premium SSD, change it to standard HDD. And on the networking side, don't go ahead with the default one, what is populated. You are supposed to create a one for you with your name. So instead, we go ahead, we'll just say create new. And we give this name. So this is the name of the VNet. And then the address range, it is by default creating something. We don't need this. What we can do is like we just delete that and add this address range for the virtual network address space. And then the subnet, let's add one subnet called subnet 0 with the address range that's 10.60. So we are defining 4096 addresses for virtual network, and for this subnet, we are defining only 256 addresses. Okay, I think we can say okay. Fine, then the public IP to be none. So even this network security group is also none. These network security group and public IP, we will create separately and then attach it to the VM once we create the VM using ARM template. And that's done. Acceleration, we don't need here. So what we can do is like, we can just switch it off, enable accelerated networking off, load balancing none, and then management. Under management, leave the default settings. Under monitoring, we need to check whether this boot diagnostic is enabled with the Azure Storage account. For recently, this checkbox selection option they have modified. Previously, we could select multiple at the same time, but now it's letting you to select only one at a time. And next is this review, create and create. Not create, review, create, and we have to download it. Don't go for creating it. So review, create, it will just run the validation, and don't create this here because we will just download the template. So review, create has done the validation check and the validation is successfully passed. Then the next thing is that we need to download this template for the automation. So click this link for download. And then again, here also download. So this will download template.zip file to my machine. Let me go to downloads. Okay, and then I have to copy this. Then go to C drive. Okay, I need to create a new folder with this name called lab06 files. I'll create a new folder, lab06 files. And let me paste that template, what I have downloaded, ARM template. Let me extract it here. So we might use this template later. Okay. So this we have done already. You can just do one thing like open these two files and you can review it. Both the template and parameter file, you can just review. I'm going to close the parameter. Okay. Then the next thing is that we need to open template file. Okay, already we have this template file here. And on this file, we need to locate the resources section. That should be somewhere here. Yeah, here. And in here, inside that, we are adding one more resource. And then that resource is this. This is about custom script, what we are going to add here. Once these lines are copied, we just save this file and close this file. Don't click anywhere until the copy takes place successfully. Yeah, hope the things are done now. I can say save and close. So this is done. Now next, let's go and deploy this particular virtual machine. We downloaded the ARM template and we did some modification. We added some custom scripts. Now again, we are using the same template for creating a VM. Now go to Azure Portal, go for custom deployment. Deploy a custom template. Okay. Deploy a custom template in here. Let me build my own template in the editor. Let me check these boxes. Let me edit this template. Okay, fine. We have already in the edit template. Okay, now let's load this file called template. The template file is loaded and we can save it. Once we save it, then it will take us to custom deployment. In here, let's go and edit the parameter and load the parameter file and say save it. Now both the parameter and then the template files are uploaded. Now here you need to go and select few things like your resource group. You select the one which you have created in your previous exercise. And next name your Azure region, let it be East US. And down you have to give the password and that's it. So here you're going to review and create and create. Okay, because this is deployment based creation. So it might take minimum 5 to 10 minutes. I'll pause the video. I'll be back once the resource is provisioned. Yeah, the deployment is completed. It took between 5 to 10 minutes. Let me go to the resource. These are the steps we have done so far. Now let's go back to Azure resources. Sorry, resource group. In the resource group, select the resource group what we have created. And in here, you can access VM. This is the VM which we created in the previous step. Fine. And if you go to application and extension, that you can find it under settings, go to settings, applications and extensions. And you can see there will be one entry. And that is because we did some modification to the template file, right? By adding some configuration file. That's the thing here added. Fine. Now, if you go to again the resource group, select the resource group and go to deployment, and you can see that there is one deployment resource.employment. Sorry, Microsoft.template deployment is displayed here. Okay, you don't need to do anything with this. You can just go with the next step. The next step is all about verifying the status of Microsoft Defender for Cloud. So the thing is, many of the thing what is given here might not match your requirements. So what I can suggest you is that like you can go to Microsoft Defender for Cloud because it has come already upgraded and also multiple things or the needs to be enabled. For that, what you can do, you can just go to management section. Under the management section, select this environment settings. You can expand all and you get this collapse all and expand all. You get this particular your subscription here. You need to make sure that whether Windows Server is enabled. So you need to make sure that all these things are on. If so, then you just can leave it. You don't need to do anything here. If not, you can just say enable all plans. Okay. And enable all plans you can give. If there is some pop-up window is coming, you can select the first option and say apply. That's it. So what happens like if it is off for you, maybe I'll just make it off. Oh, okay. So better you keep all these things on and that's it. And if in case for you off, just you can go for enable all plans and then it might open a window here. So among them, select the first option. It will be related to the subscription fee. You select the first option and say apply. And all these services gets enabled so that we can apply this different features. And you don't need to do anything on this settings and monitoring. Just you can review and you can come back. So with this, you complete these steps. And next, we need to review just-in-time virtual machine access. Sometimes it might take some time more than expected. So you need to wait. Just duplicate this tab. settings, go to subscription. So anyways, we have enabled all the plans. That's okay. And under settings and monitoring, you don't need to do anything. So this log analytics workspace now is added for you by default. Okay, fine. I don't know why this is taking this much time. So I'll do one thing, just I'll duplicate it and I continue with the next step. So next, let's go and review just-in-time VM access. For that, I'll go to Windows, Microsoft Defender, and it should be under workload protection. So it should be under cloud security, go to workload protection. Okay, and then you can go to just-in-time VM access. Unsupported, not configured, unconfigured, nothing is displayed here. Sometimes it will take 24 hours as according to this instruction. So that's expected. You can continue with the next step. The next step is that we will be creating a network security group under public IP and we attach it to the VM what we have created in the previous step. Yes, this page took so long to open. And previously, like we had this edit configuration here and we will go and add the log analytics workspace here. But actually, we are not going to do that. It's already done for us. Now, anyways, this log analytics agent is almost deprecating. Fine. So we are here in this the next step is that we will go and create network security group. I'll select network security group and create a network security group. On the basics tab, I need to give this information. I'll put it in the resource group. And then the name of the network security group is this. And let's say review and create and create. Yeah. Okay, once this network security group is created, we will go and add one inbound rule. Usually what we do, like we create a VM with energy and we go to the VM and access the energy and we will try to edit inbound and outbound port rule, right? And this we can do it even separately, like you can create a network security group alone and to that network security group, you can add the inbound and outbound port rule. That's what we are going to do now. Once this is created, so let me go to that network security group. In here, I'll go to inbound security rule. You can see that there is no any new addition. Let's go and add it. And while adding, you need to give this basics data. So any star, any, and this to be HTTP, action to be allowed, and then the priority number, where is it? It should be 300. And then the name to be modified as this and say add. Fine. So now we have created a network security group and added one inbound rule. Next is that configure inbound HTTP access for Azure virtual machine. Okay, fine. So here, what are we going to do is this. Create and configure energy is done. Configure inbound HTTP access to VM. It's already done here, to be frank. This is what we have done slightly. Okay, fine. Now let's continue with the next step. This next step is that we will be creating a public IP address. And create a public IP. On the basics tab of the create public IP address, we need to give some information. Everything, let it be in East US and the name to be this. And IPv4 version, standard, regional, and say review, create, and create. Once this is done, then we can go and attach these two to the VM what we have created. So we have VM0, right? So to that VM, these two resources like energy and IP address must be added or attached. to find the deployment will succeed. It's already succeeded. Let's go to the virtual machine. But I'll go here. Let me go to the virtual machine. In the virtual machine, this is the virtual machine. I have to add those two resources. Network security. Where is network security? VM on the page displaying network interface property. Okay, I'll go with this network settings, and then I'll go to network interface. Here I need to go to network security group. Right now we don't have any security group attached. So we have one. Let's go and select that and save it. So we are attaching the energy what we have created in the previous step. Fine. Next is IP configuration. So under IP configuration, we have IP config 1, and you have to associate a public IP address here and select from the list. So this is the IP we created in our previous session, that is VM0PIP1. You can just go and check that name. So VM0PIP1 and say save. So we attached the IP address. Also, we have attached this network security group. Everything is fine. Might be these instructions will be slightly deceiving you. So please, you can follow how I have done. Okay. Next thing is that, okay, there are a few things I need to, okay, we saved it, fine. Now we need to test it, whether are you able to connect to this machine or not. So we only have enabled 80 port number, not 3389. So let's copy the public IP address. So this is the public IP address. You can even go to the VM and get it. And it should display as this message. If so, then everything is perfect. If not, you have to revisit once again. Same thing, I'll just use the same public IP for RDP connection. I'll give the IP name number, and it will not let me connect because we haven't allowed it 3389 in NSG. Okay. And we are going to allow 3389, but not using NSG directly, but we will use this Defender for Cloud feature called JIT, just in time access. It's almost like a approval, request approval based, allowing inbound port. So when you go for NSG, it's just that's kind of a static one. Whereas when we go with this Defender for Cloud, we can, it's almost similar, but we can bring in sort of additional features like if somebody wants to access, they can request, and then somebody we can keep as the approver. And once he approves, then he can have an access. Like that's things we can bring in. Let's see what we can, how we can enable that. So first we need to go and access this JIT. For that, what we need to do, go to the virtual machine, go to the overview tab of the virtual machine. This is my VM. I'm in here. I'll just go to the configuration. And you can just enable this just-in-time access. So this is possible because we have this Windows Defender for Cloud. If not, definitely you can't go and do this. And if you want, you can even check this. Like if you click this, it will take you to the next page. And you can see here, not configured, unsupported, and configured. So there is one VM listed under the configured list. And that's expected. So you can check these things now. Great. Okay, next thing is that let me go to my VM. We have enabled this just-in-time access. Okay, and if you go to the network settings again, I need to refresh it. See, you can see that this 3389 is just enabled using Defender for Cloud. This is expected and from everything. So we are just denying all the 3389 port connectivity, but it is given based on just-in-time rule. We still have left with one more thing. So what we need to do that I need to go to overview and go to connect and connect. And you can see that just-in-time configuration is done. So configure for port. Yeah, it is just-in-time is configured for this 3389 port. Nobody can access this unless we give a request access here. So the request access is, we are just trying to give a request access for which IP address. We can say all configured IP, any IP, or only for my IP. So my IP is given in the instruction. That's not nothing but your local machine IP. It means you are connected to internet and you will be obviously having a public IP, and that is that for that IP we are giving this access request. So when you click access request, it will take some couple of seconds for approval. Once it is approved, then we can just go and download this RDP file and can take RDP to this VM from outside. The request is approved. You can now download it. Keep anyway. Just open this and connect. It's asking for the password. Key in the password and say OK. Perfect. So now you have connected through just-in-time access. And that's it. Thank you, everyone.